Right. So, I have written an intro.
Go for it, mate.
Now, you're either going to absolutely hate it.
I will.
You probably will. It's full of take that puns.
Just go for it. Go for it. Go for it with no shame. Okay? That's the way to do it.
Right, hold on. Before we
Sorry, yes.
is it recording?
That's recording.
Okay.
The phone is recording.
It's all right. That's
all-
my only job here.
Just
That's
to make sure-
check
You've done
that-
a cracking job of setting up.
All right.
You've just got on with it yourself. You know, it's brilliant, Tom. From when we were first in here and you didn't really know what you were doing, to now you've just set up the whole studio.
That's
for
good
us.
work. Good work.
Yeah.
Shall we make a start?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Let's do it. Okie dokie. So, welcome to, is it episode 3 or 4? Are we counting the pilot
We're
as
not counting
episode 1?
pilot.
Okay, so it's episode 3 of Dads at Work, the podcast where we chat to dads from all walks of life about the beautiful chaos of balancing work and fatherhood. And today we are joined by someone who really knows how to take that
Good God.
challenge head on.
Oh, it is.
No, that is the tip of the iceberg. It's Dan Hadfield,
Oh,
the UK's #1 Gary Barlow tribute act.
let me stop you there. It's world's.
World's.
Yeah,
The world's
not
number
UK.
one
When I
Gary Barlow
wrote that line, I
tribute
wrote
act.
world's, not UK's.
Did you?
Yeah.
So I've
that's right.
actually pulled you down a few.
They got to. I needed it.
Apologies,
It's all right.
apologies, Gary. I
no
mean,
worries.
well, he's back for good. And ready to talk all things parenting, performing, and everything in between. Dan's made a name for himself by bringing Gary to life on stage. So much so, you'd be forgiven for thinking, could it be magic?
Oh my goodness.
How fucking good is this?
Oh,
this
incredible.
is brilliant.
Am I allowed to swear in this podcast?
Yeah, do what you like.
Thank God for
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is what ChatGPT did, and I've...
Don't blame it
I
on
flowered
ChatGPT. This is.
I thought this was the shit when I wrote this.
It is the shit. That's right.
But when he's not belting out the ballads or rocking arenas, he's dealing with the real stage of life. The living room floor covered in toys, tantrums and tiny shoes that never forget. There's another one. To go missing right before the school run with his little one soon, or one of your little ones soon making the big leap from preschool to school. Dan is swapping Relight My Fire for Where's Your Lunchbox?
Oh my God.
Now that is good. And we're here for it. We'll talk about life on the road, dealing with dad guilt, and how nothing quite prepares you for the greatest day until someone spills yogurt down your clean shirt.
My God, this is a good example of how AI will never succeed properly. If he's used ChatGPT for this,
I'm lapping this shit, I'll be honest with you.
There's no subtlety.
Like,
Go on, Max. Go on.
let's get through this.
From shine
Yeah.
to snack time,
Oh.
from standing ovations to stepping on Lego, this episode proves that even when you're living out your dream job, being a dad is still the headline act. So grab a brew, have a little patience,
Oh God.
and get ready to hear what happens when the spotlight dims and the night feeds begin. This is Dan Hadfield, tribute artist, touring performer, proud dad, showing us that fatherhood is the ultimate encore. How fucking good was
I
that?
don't know.
That was
It's just a bit where you put jingle in there or something.
Yes, this is jingle time now.
Just in response to that, first off, thank you, I think. Second off, I told my wife, Jay, that this was a serious podcast.
Did
that's
you?
why she's given me an hour to come and see.
Ah, right, okay.
She must never listen to that interview.
She'll love that. She will love that.
Will she love
Yeah,
that?
I
Okay.
reckon so.
Well, I hope so for everybody's sake.
I hope so
This
for my
time.
sake. Although I won't be seeing her on the preschool run anymore.
No,
will I?
no, true. But our paths, Lincoln is a small place. Our paths
Certainly
cross
is.
regularly, and
Certainly
we think
is.
a lot of your good lady as well. And Yeah, absolutely.
She's very good. For a bit of background, my son and one of Dan's daughters did go to the same preschool. Oh, now they're going to big school.
And no, both expelled on the same day.
They are both fucking troublemakers,
They
and
are.
I can see that's going to happen.
They are. I'm quite glad they're going to separate schools, to be honest.
Yes.
Thank you for the intro. I appreciate it very much indeed. And
Are you
thanks.
sure?
I do. Honestly, I've heard worse. Not many.
How many podcasts have you been on?
2. So
Okay, so
the other one was terrible. No.
You must have been compared to us.
I must say, in response to that intro, you're right. No, we'll move on from the quality of it rather than to the content.
I mean, it was well delivered.
It was.
Yeah.
It must have taken you a few seconds to think about. It is an interesting. It's an interesting dilemma how to mix the two things we're talking about: being a dad, and actually not just being a dad, being a husband, and being a creative, which and I don't really particularly like that term actually, but being a performer, because one of the difficulties straight off the bat is that I believe that when you're working in a creative industry, such as being a performer, I don't think there is credibility attached to it. In the same way that if you are, say, working in a shop, working in retail, driver, there's something quite about working. No matter what you earn, no matter how good you are, you're still just fannying about on stage, aren't you?
Well, there's the old adage, isn't it? It's like, it's not a proper job.
That's right,
and
exactly.
I think you'd argue the complete opposite.
I would argue, and I would say it's not only is it a proper job, I would say it's a most unexpectedly intense, very difficult job. Somebody once said to me a few years ago, I was this person who said this to me is a Ivor Novello recipient several times over. Wrote the first Spice Girls album, wrote for Boyzone, and wrote some of the Take That songs. And I was asking him about where I should plot my career in terms of what should I do next. And he turned around to me and he said, Dan, he said, you already sing for a living. He said, do you know how many people want to do that? And it kind of reordered it for me in my head. And I thought, well, you're right. All I need to do is not f*** it up.
I mean, you're right.
That's it.
You
it's
are
like maintain.
right.
Stop thinking about being this week's number one on Top of the Pops. That's obviously not going to happen. Just think about longevity. And so the only way you can have longevity is by getting your head down, working hard, not taking things for granted. And I think also, coming with that, especially, as we've got 2 young children, 4 and 10 months, Mabel and Molly, since they've come into our lives, the pressure to not fuck up is even greater. Yeah. Because if I do make a mess of things, what then? Because suddenly, speaking candidly, I couldn't go out and replace the income that I earn now, because I earn a decent income from what I do, and going out and trying to replace that would be nigh on impossible. And also it would increase my working hours exponentially, and everything would change. So I feel like I've got a million plates in the air.
Dan, what are you working at? That's intriguing in itself.
Yeah.
Because obviously, people who are listening to this and they're working in the music industry, creatives, I know it might be different when you work in terms of like digital creativity, but the entertainment industry, it's evenings, it's weekends, right? What hours are you working, and how does that work with the family now, and a young kid, young family? Yeah.
Okay. Good question. Thumbs up to you, Tom, for asking a good question. We're all happy here that Tom's asked a good question. Well, if you think about it, anybody who walks on stage in Wembley, or walks on stage at your local theatre, or even stands up with a guitar in the high street and starts strumming a chord, they've not just walked up to that point and done it and opened up. there's hours and hours and hours that have gone into just reaching that moment. People perceive the 2 hours that you're on stage and think, well, that's not a bad job if you can get it.
Yeah.
When so we just rock up and do 2 hours and then go home. That's not bad, is it? Twice a week. My hours are genuinely, since I started doing this for a living full time, which is May 2012, 7 days a week, all the time, all the time. I'm doing marketing, advertising, writing copy, emailing, thinking. This is nothing to do with singing. This is everything that's not to do with singing. You know, talking to customers, planning new projects, trying to work out who to work with, what theatres we'd like to go into, accounts, tax, you know, and you're a one-stop shop for it all. And, you know, you go to bed thinking about it, you wake up thinking about it. And the relief is when you walk on stage, because when you walk on stage, it's like stepping over the white line of a football pitch. You've done all your training. Yeah,
it's all worth it.
It's
all
there.
that
You just walk out, and all I've got to do is do 2 hours of singing now. Fine, I know exactly what I'm doing generally, you know, and then it all comes together. And actually, weirdly enough, it's only those 2 hours. To answer the last part of your question, it's only those 2 hours where I'm not consumed in terms of thinking about the work-life balance, because when I'm working at home on my laptop, or even if I'm in a recording studio recording things, I'm thinking about Jade and whether she's okay with the kids. I'm thinking if she's having a bad day. I'm thinking how Molly is Mabel playing her up. I'm looking at my watch. It's no longer, well, I've got all day to do this, because if I had all day to do something, I would be thinking, how can I get through this as quickly as I can to get back to home? Because I need to relieve my wife of looking after the kids. And it's as simple as that. Now, you know, some would argue that, well, it shouldn't be like that in any kind of familial setting. But it is. That's ours.
That's the way it works.
Yeah, it's your normal.
That's our normal.
Yeah,
it's our normal. You know, it's fucking hard having children and looking after children. And I think it's particularly hard having them when they're really little. And, you know, I am never, ever under any illusion at all that for the main parent, and in this case it's Jade, you know, that she has the harder job of either of us, even though I have arguably a much more demanding job physically, and I have the pressure of being able to earn for us as a family, because Jade doesn't work. I look after all three of my girls financially, but I have that pressure on my shoulders to do that. So I can't make an error and not earn money.
Do you have family close by, Dad, to help? Because I know this is something that comes up with us that, you know, I don't, and, you know, and lots of people don't.
And I don't know how you do it, because me, if Grandma didn't live around the corner, I really would struggle.
Mark's honestly. That's really difficult, Tom, to be honest with you. Like, you do what we would do if we're in that situation. That's just leave the kids in the street, you know. And we have done that a couple of times. But no, we've got Jade's mum and dad, who are quite young, living in Grantham, so only about 20 minutes away from us, and we pull up on their services.
Please take them.
So often we send them memes of parents having breakdowns, saying, "This is us, this is us.
Help.
Look at this. Can you have them today?" You know, and stuff like that. So, and they're brilliant. They're really, really. We honestly would be, you know, we'd have cracked up without them. We really would. That's a really tough one. So we're lucky in that respect. But I think I don't think there's any such thing as a work-life balance.
No, I hate the phrase.
I do. There is no balance.
There is none.
It's
all one thing.
It is. I think that's probably right. I think it's a work-life imbalance, if anything, isn't it? Because people come up with this term work-life balance, and they think of a seesaw that's horizontal. Like, well, well, 50% of the time I'm doing this and 50% I'm doing that, and that's it. It's nonsense.
Yeah.
5% of the time I'm cooking, 5% of the time I'm worrying about whether to, get facial recognition on Pornhub. 5% of the time.
Have you cracked it?
Not yet. I've not risked it. And 5% of the time.
It's just where they're going to store.
Where they're going to store it. They tell me they're not going to store it. They're going to store it.
Yeah.
So anyway, and and the rest of the time, you spent worrying about. You're just worrying about your kids and your wife and your partner. So yeah, it's tough.
It sounds it. It sounds like you've almost got. You're sort of tearing yourself in two, straight down the middle there. You've got the one side where it's like, you want to be there for your family, but then I suppose by doing what you are doing, and I presume it's what you love to do as well, you are bringing home the money, so in turn you are looking after them. But then that's the age-old question of, is it better to be there and be present, or
Absolutely.
Is it better to provide more and more and more and miss out?
No, it's not. It's the first. It's got to be the first, because if you go down the path of, especially, it's got to be the first while the kids are young. There's no doubt about that, because you only get one shot at that.
Yeah,
you can't turn it back. The kids are not going to even look like that for very long. So there's no way you can go back. So you can't get it wrong, and we as parents. Every day we get something wrong, but what you can't do is get the big things wrong. You get the small things wrong. You can't get the enormous things wrong, because your kids will remember you for whether you are there or whether you aren't there. And if you're there, they don't care what you're doing. They just remember the fact that you're there, and that's it. That's it. There's no alternative to that, unless. You're unfortunate enough to be in the forces or something, you have to be away, which I still can't get my head around that.
No.
I think if I was in the forces, I just don't even know whether I would ever have children, because I wouldn't be there. And so why would I have children not to be there for my children? And that's up for them to answer, I guess. But so I'm lucky enough to be at home Sunday through to Thursday. But and I'd go with the kids to every single class, every club. I often will take Mabel into preschool. I'll be there to pick her up, and
that is a big thing.
Yeah,
that is a huge thing, because at preschool, I think we are probably a small group of dads that do that.
Yeah.
And for me, that's been one of my favourite times of him growing up, that whole drop-off thing, because I work flexibly, which I'm really lucky to do. And it's just, I can't imagine missing out on that.
No.
It's so valuable.
It is. It is, because you're seeing them into their day. You wake up, you have breakfast together. We have a little routine that's we have never set out to establish. We just do it. We get up, all go downstairs. We all sit on the sofa and have a bit of a family sort of cuddle smudge, if you like. We're all together, and then I'll make breakfast. And we'll put Peppa Pig on, and God, we do that if the kids are away. And and we'll just have half an hour where we're having a telling Mabel off for something she's done, having a cuddle with Molly, having a laugh with Mabel, this, that and the other. And then we go, right, get on it. And then Jade will generally take the kids upstairs, get them dressed, get them either bathed and dressed or just dressed. I will then go through blitz the house, so the house is completely tidy. So, which it takes a lot of effort sometimes, because it's very rude half the time.
Yeah.
I'll hoover, I'll do the pots, I'll get some washing in.
And then 5 minutes later, you think, why the hell did I bother doing that?
The reason I do it at that point is because I know that the Wreck-It Ralph is going out the house to preschool.
Yeah.
So it'll be clean and tidy. I'll do the pack-ups, make the beds, and then 5 minutes before I'm due out the door, I will jump in the shower. I will throw the same clothes on that I'm wearing today, black jeans and a black t-shirt. Shout at Mabel for making everybody late, even though it's me. Throw him in the car, race up Netland Road to preschool, and then Jade has Molly, and Molly will then be sort of going to sleep a little bit, and and then I'll come back, and then I'll try and do a little bit of work for a while if we're not taking Molly out somewhere. But obviously, the summer holidays have come along to fuck that arrangement up.
Hugely so.
Yes.
Hugely so. How far into the summer holidays are we now? Because it feels like about a fucking year.
Yes, it does, a year in. I think we are...
Got the whole of August to go,
We are,
guys.
that's right, yeah. I believe we're nearly 10,000 years into the holiday.
So how many weeks or days or hours did it take that lovely routine to go completely out the window? Day one.
Oh, day one, it was gone. I mean, I think we planned something on day one of the holiday, so the routine was out the window. And then day two, we were just like, oh no. But I think the good news is, I think we are only about 4 weeks away from school starting, and like we were saying just off camera a few minutes ago, I am really trying to enjoy Mabel being at home, because I know that school's starting, and I know that we will lose our little girl to the next stage of her life, and it's gone no matter what we school holidays are bloody hard, they are, but one day we'll be desperate for them back.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if we aren't now,
it's a very good way of looking at it.
One day we would give anything for it to be back, but right now we'd give anything to wish the next 4 weeks away.
It's like having a hot curry.
Yes.
It's like, with me and Milo at home, it's like, wow, I'm really hating this curry. I can't wait to drink some milk. But then when you're drinking the milk, you'll think, oh, I fancy some of that hot curry again.
Some of that hot curry.
And where's the curry gone? He's gone to school. Do you see what I did there?
That's right.
This is the weirdest metaphor.
It's a good metaphor.
You could have introduced.
I was going to use like a spicy drink, but I couldn't think of one.
No, you're right. I'm with you. No, you're right, actually. It's a decent one.
Yeah.
But it's true. I'm a bit like that with the Domino's pizzas, to be honest, because I'll order...
I can't do them anymore.
No, I can't.
I can't do it.
Because they give me brain fog.
Yeah.
They make me feel terrible.
Yeah.
I'll just drop off, I'll sleep.
Yeah.
Once I've had it.
That's right.
No
Brain
coming
fog, I
back.
just feel... I think it's the gluten. I think
It just sits there
It does.
as well.
It sits there. But it's so the second look is what the Domino's... I mean, we're going off topic here, haven't we? But if
Massively. So that usually happens.
It's fine.
If we're honest. But
order a Domino's pizza, and I'll never order a small or a medium, because that's a waste of money. You just order the large, because it's just done. And and so the large will come, and I'll have 2 or 3 slices, and I actually don't want any more. But then I'll just eat the next 7 anyway, and I'll get to maybe 1 or 2 from the end and be like, oh my God, no. And then I'll finish them because they're there and I've paid for them. But if there's a couple of slices left, and I go, I've had it, I'm having this, and I'll sit there and I'll be watching whatever's on the TV that I'm watching, and then I'll look down at the slice.
yeah, and then you think, hang on, I could have a bit
Hang
of
on.
that.
Air fryer in the next morning, Dan.
Well,
Don't
that's
you
right.
try that?
To be honest with you, it's a 45 second in the microwave. Even if I have put that box of Domino's on top of the bin, sometimes in the bin with rubbish on, if it's protected, and I think about that the next morning, if that hasn't been contaminated, out it comes.
Yeah.
It's a 36,000 second rule, isn't it?
It really is.
Just pack it with all that.
That's
addictive
what makes
goodness.
us real men, Tom. Andrew Tate wouldn't do.
Bin. That's
Would
what
he?
makes us real.
Andrew
man.
Tate wouldn't eat a Domino's out of a bin and post that on Instagram, that's for sure.
He's a wimp, isn't he?
He's a
really?
wimp.
When you put it that way.
That's right, Tateless.
Before we get back on track, what is the order? If you go
Pepperoni
for
passion. Usually pepperoni passion. Sometimes it would be an Americano, because I like really hot
Have
food.
you had the they only do it for a limited time, the Double Decadence?
I've heard of it now.
It's a thin layer.
This? I don't know this.
Right, it's a thin layer of crust,
Right.
a cheese sort of sauce, but it's not sauce. It's almost like dairy.
You mean it's just some plastic yellow?
Just
Shite.
then put another base on top of that. Then put your pizza on it.
Double decadence.
It's
Double diabetes,
really good.
that's what it is.
Yeah, it
That's
is
what it
really
is.
good. Honestly, when they brought that back, I had 2 within 1 week.
How old are you guys?
I'm 35.
35?
I am 27.
27, right. So I'm 49, in my 50th birthday this year, and I should not be eating the things I am still eating. I'm a type 2 diabetic, which I have no interested in acknowledging whatsoever, even though I'm on metformin and this and the other. And even today I had a flapjack, and my sister was with me. She said, Dan, you can't have that. No, pass it here. Let me show you how a type 2 diabetic deals with this flapjack. And I had the flapjack, half a second later I was asleep.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, that Double Decadence sounds like my...
It is amazing.
Sounds great and terrible at the same time.
It is amazing. When it comes back, we'll have to have a little pizza party.
Sounds great.
I think.
Sounds good. Okay.
Let's get it back on track then.
Sure.
I am interested. This really piqued my interest when you were talking about this earlier, Dan. So I make music as well.
Yeah.
And there's always a problem with finding time, finding a place, having the mental capacity to actually sit down and do something. So when you're surrounded by family for the majority of the time or on the road, how do you actually find time to sit down and say, do some vocal practice?
Yeah.
Or I don't know if you write your own original stuff, but
No.
I've seen you record covers on YouTube.
I do. I record a lot.
So how does that work then? Is that a home job, or are you booking somewhere?
Both.
Both.
It would be very... The trite answer to that and would be to say, I don't find the time. But that's not a very expansive answer, and it's not true. I do find the time, difficult though it may be. So there's two things I do. If I'm recording something seriously, like that, something I know is going to be feature on the website or something that I'm going to showcase,
like your excellent cover of the
Flood.
Flood with Scott.
Do you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was really good.
Thank you.
I am a bit of a take that.
Most lads are,
to be honest.
even if they don't admit it. Most
and
lads
it's not
are.
even like I keep it in the closet.
No,
I'm
you're out there
about
about it. Yeah, you're out there. About
Yeah.
it. We'll post the link to the Flood video for those who haven't seen it, because I really like that out there.
It is good.
I think we've had about 100,000 views of that at the moment, which is quite decent. But it
That's
was
really good. Well
thank you very much. Not as many as a few years ago when I had 9 million views on me singing A Million Love Songs to Mabel when she was one. Now, the only reason I had 9 million views on it is because Mabel was on this video. So there's me going, Mabel's wandering around and I'm singing Million Love Songs to her. And Jade had recorded it and she goes, oh, this is lovely, we'll post it. And I posted it, and I swear to God, a year later, I was still getting daily notifications about it. And
That's incredible.
And I had 100,000 comments, and it had 9 million views. And the irony is, I wasn't monetized on Facebook at the time. I know.
Can you not do that like post?
No. I looked into it. No, absolutely.
That is a sting.
It was, and because to put that in context, I had a few months ago, I post some wind-up posts on my Facebook because I think I'm funny, even if Jade doesn't. And I post something about the red arrows on Facebook, saying that I can't stand the red arrows. I wish they'd just...
We are based in Lincolnshire.
That's right.
Well. Red Arrows are based here.
And just for the record, I love the red arrows. But I posted this post and I went, f***ing hell. I just walked outside my door. The red arrows had just flown over my house again. I'll shit myself. When will they just piss off and move from RAF Waddingham?
Oh yeah, you're slightly right. Oh, perfect. Just reeling them in.
Yeah.
5 million. 5 million.
I'm not surprised.
The absolute my social media went mental, and then I followed this up with I found a picture of the village of Waddingham and posted it online. I went, well, I've been up to Waddingham, and I can't see any sign of the red arrows here. And no, I called them the red arrowers, just to make people a bit crosser. And then it's not Waddingham, you idiot. It's Waddington, and it's Waddington. I went, well, I've come up to Waddingham and I can't find. No, it's Waddington. furious people. And then I happened to have a show at Lessingham, and I just happened to be passing Waddington on the way home about midnight. And I got out my van. And I took some pictures at the viewing area of RAF Waddington in the dark, just vaguely could see where it was. And I went, well, I've been to Waddington and I can't see any red arrows here either. I just carried on. I just went on. And I do it. The people that follow me for years know I'm obviously taking and they get the popcorn out, and the ones that don't, that is what I do it for. What was the question? Oh, creative time.
Can I just say, I do find that funny. That is my level of humour. That is funny.
As A-star trolling, we call it. Like trolling.
It's great. Honestly, it's great trolling. Yeah. But in terms of time, I think that there's two things really: recording at home or doing work at home. Recording in Derby, where I do a recording studio. A friend contacted who has worked with some of the Eurovision stuff. Not that that's a sign of quality in my eyes, like Eurovision.
I mean, you've said it yourself there.
It's awful.
Yeah.
I mean,
would you ever do Eurovision if you got asked?
No.
You wouldn't?
No. Why would I do that?
I would do it if someone asked me.
I don't know.
I would do it.
I'm going to put. I quite like it.
Yeah, it's
awful.
Quite
like it.
Dreadful.
I quite like it.
Dreadful.
Yeah, in a really, really way. Yes.
Well, yeah, but I like the Graham Norton aspect. I like sitting down to watch it, and we're all having a little giggle about how crap some of them are or whatever. In our opinions.
Yeah.
I quite like it. And then every so often you'll see someone who's really, really good.
Yeah, but
and
it
their
has
voice
got
is
less
really,
mental,
really good.
Don't you think?
And they've clearly put some thought into it. They've got like a good team around them, or perhaps they're doing it all themselves. And you're like, oh yeah, they're really, really good.
Yeah, but then immediately after a fucking fat teapot comes
on.
And
well,
it's like,
there will be
how
that.
dare you?
But that's,
I'd lost a lot of weight by the time I went on there.
No. It's better. I'm a royal variety. It's the variety. You can't beat the variety.
I'm sorry, you can't mention Eurovision and royal variety.
Okay, so I'll take that back. But there is variety.
I'll be honest. I'll tell you why I don't like Eurovision. Okay, apart from the obvious, I don't like new things. I don't like new music. I don't like seeing new things. I don't like it when a new artist comes out. I'm not interested in them. I don't like when an artist I do brings a new album out because I don't want to listen to it. I don't want to be.
So if Gary Barlow brings a new album out,
not interested.
Because that one with Michael Bublé. I mean, what was he thinking?
Which one was that?
Was it a Sheeta or a
Alita.
Alita.
Yeah.
Is that not part of the live set?
No. As you would imagine. So, example.
You can't beat that power duo. Bublé and
it was Bublé, Barlow, and this and a Mexican guy who forgettable. But do you know what it is? So, I'm a bit walls up against it. You know, if somebody says to me, "Oh my God, you've got to read this." Oh my God, you've got to see this.
No.
I instantly put a wall up and say, I'll see you in a year when the fuss has died down and I discover it on my own terms.
That's fair.
And, so anybody says, you've got to see this, it's like, no, I will never, I'll make a point of not looking up for it. And if somebody says, you've got to put this Gary Barlow song in your set, and I'll go, I'm not even listening to it. On principle, and I don't know why. It's a little bit of ADHD in me, and it's a little bit of a streak I have of don't tell me what to listen to.
Have you always been like it? Yeah,
I have. It's like, my friends at school will be like, hey, listen to this. No thanks, I'm listening to the Everly Brothers. And they'll be like, what? And I'll say, you keep your whatevers you listen to. I'm not interested in that. And I dig my heels in and go the other way, even if it hurts me. Because even if I don't feel what I'm... So basically, I'm just doing it to be contrary because I just can't stand that whole, you've got to see this.
So have you watched Game of Thrones yet?
Yes.
You see, I still haven't.
Okay.
I still haven't.
I was going to ask this, how long does it take for the trend to subside?
Yeah, when everybody stopped talking
about
it, I'll come to it. Yeah. And that's how it is. Like, I was particularly cross when Lord of the Rings was filmed, and because I'm a huge Tolkien fan. I was in the Tolkien Society for many years. The books mean everything to me. I've got 100 Tolkien books on my shelf.
First trilogy's pretty good, Dan. Not sure about the TV series, but the trilogy's pretyou. It's got a pretty ardent following.
The extended version is manageable. The theatrical releases are forgettable. Okay, and when you end the Fellowship of the Ring with "Let's go hunt some orc," Tolkien will be turning in his Oxfordian grave at this, okay? And I sat behind. It was like watching The Phantom Menace. I sat behind my scarf going, no, what are you doing? And yet over the years, I've come to love the Lord of the Rings film trilogy for different reasons. Game of Thrones I discovered about season 6.
Was Gollum how you thought he would look in your head? Yeah.
Andy Serkis did a great job on that, but he was basing his Gollum on Ralph Bakshi's animated version from '78.
Right.
And which is...
And you like that because it's old.
It's old.
Yeah.
And I watched it as a kid.
Yeah.
And nobody's banging on about it.
Yeah.
That's right. Also, Breaking Bad I watched well after that had finished.
Still couldn't get into that.
Yeah, that's access or no access. And then obviously Better Call Saul as well and stuff like that. So, a bit contrary on that. So back to the original question.
I actually can't remember what the original question is now.
It was about dividing your time.
Are we still on that one?
Time, yeah.
Right.
So Derby,
Yes.
Derby at home. So when I go to Derby to record, it's easier because I've gone there to do a job. I've driven. I know I've got a block of time.
Yeah.
And I can really... I'm doing nothing else. I'm stood in front of a microphone. Ben is recording me. I'm not recording myself. I'm not faffing around, queuing myself up recording. Mabel faffing around, this, that and the other. Jade wanting another cup of coffee. Molly needing a nappy chair. I'm not doing that. I'm just... So that's really focused. When I'm at home, I have this term which I hate myself for. I'll often turn to Jade and go, I have to work this afternoon. And I'm doing it in an apologetic way. Like, I have to work. Like, what I should say is, I'm working this afternoon. But because I feel guilty, because I'm at home, I'm not going out to the office.
Well,
I'm just at
I
home.
think it is that, isn't it? It's like
It
if you're
is.
going out to a supermarket, going, I have to work. Right, you've got to go to work.
Well, you
Off
don't
you
say
go.
I have to work. You say, I'm at work.
Yeah.
I'm working today.
Yeah.
You know, I'm working today. And, but there's an apologetic nature when you have a blurred boundary because there is, you might find this with the sense of, you having the flexibility to work when you need to. It's like, well, I have to work because I'm choosing to work, not because I have to work.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I'm choosing to work this afternoon rather than to look after the kids and alleviate you of your stress, and I feel bad about that because, and also I sit very publicly and work at home. And so Mabel was always coming up to me going, Dad, what's this? And, and then, oh, that's lovely. I'm just writing to the Queen, and it's really hard. And sometimes I'll record under a duvet. So because I've recently given up my office so Jade can have it as an office, and I'm just now in the dining room with everything around me. And so I have my mic and everything set up, and I put a duvet over my head so to muffle the sound.
Not
that's right. Yeah.
Not in the heat waves.
No,
of
that's
last
right. It
week.
was. Sometimes I put a broom handle there, put the duvet on, and gone out. So she thinks I'm just under the duvet, just playing a tape over and over again. Today this could be.
He sounds really good today.
He's just been singing that over and over again for hours. But I find it hard because. It's nice to have the opportunity to say, and I'm not being sycophantic here, but Jade is my world. She is. And when we met, and this I don't know whether this was one of your questions, but, when we met, she came to see me at a show, and
So you were already doing the tribute stuff.
Yeah, I was
before Jade.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, I was, and we met, and we had, when we got together, I made the decision to put Jade absolutely front and centre of everything I did online. Yeah, I didn't want it to be a partner or a girlfriend that just existed in the background, because I felt that wasn't fair, even though she didn't want to be in any kind of soft spotlight. I wanted people to know that this was my person.
Yeah.
By bringing I made her very public, which lost a few of my fans for the wrong reasons, obviously. And
we shan't go into that.
no, that's right. There was
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
but then I had this kind of thing where I then built this little thing where me and Jade people would start to see Jade feature in the things, and we had this little bit of comedy way of doing things. And so by involving her in what I've done,
it's enriched it.
It has enriched it, there's no doubt about it. It has also allowed her to totally understand what I do. When she's not there, she knows what I'm going through. So when I come home from a show, no matter how big or small it's been, the only conversation we'll have about the show is, how'd it go? Oh yeah, fine. Okay. So I might have had a show where I've got a standing ovation, the same conversation happens. How'd it go? Yeah. I went, not bastards. She wouldn't say that. So can I really swear?
Yeah.
No, really swear.
Are you gonna go? Yeah, go for it.
Can I drop the C-bomb?
I thought you came.
We're gonna have to beat a couple of bits and pieces out.
Oh, I won't do the C-bomb then.
We may as well do it, and then we'll bleep it.
What happens?
She had any city show, and I go, oh, the usuals. And so,
Are you sure we've got a bleep?
my podcast is full of the See You Next Tuesdays from me. And Jade claims she never swears because her mum and dad will be listening to podcasts, but she swears like a trooper. Yeah. And so she'll say that, and I'll go, well, that's the usual. God, yeah, you know, any disrespect? I went, yeah, a lot. I dealt with it, and then we move on. And she goes, well, I've had a shit day. You've been just driving, listening to your podcasts while you've been singing. You lied, and Mabel's been playing me up all day. She kicked me. She did that, and immediately, any delusions of grandeur I have about how well I'm doing in life,
right down.
So it makes no difference. I'm gone.
Yeah,
it's back to it.
Yeah,
and I'm thinking,
but to a good place.
Oh, it's the best match.
Yeah,
because can you imagine what it'd be like without that?
Exactly.
There's no anchor.
Yeah.
And so having your kids and having your wife in that kind of setting, I don't want to come home and have my wife blow smoke up my arse.
Exactly, it's the same thing. I had a track played on. I've had a couple actually played on BBC Introducing.
Oh yeah, David Brown there had a couple. So.
The odd track here and there.
Yeah,
but. Yeah, one of them got played, and I said to Phoebe, I was like, "Oh, I really like this one. It's on the radio." She went, "Not the best one. Why did you pick that one?"
Brilliant.
Like, yeah.
Not so keen. Not so keen.
Yeah, but there's something really nice in that.
Yeah, I love
really
that.
Nice.
And I think one of the nice things about that is when Jade says something positive. Hell, it really means something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, because I'll show her something.
And even if it's the slightest sort of positivity or interest, that sounds better.
Yeah,
really? I'll do it like that all the time now.
Work on this one. That's what I know. And I think that's a real thing because, I want somebody who she gives me the unvarnished truth. So if I've done something and I'm really proud of it, and she'll come to me and go, I'm like, oh, because she is going, I don't want anybody to hate you, and I don't want anybody to dislike what you've done, and so I'm gonna be the gatekeeper of not letting that through the door. So if I have any inkling that what you've done isn't going to be right, I'll tell you now, even if it hurts you.
Have you ever gone against her and it backfire on you?
I don't think there's been a backfire, but she has warned me one or two times about some of the stuff that I've posted on social media, and she'll turn around to me and she'll say, Dan, you need to delete that. And I'll go, no, I'm not deleting it. 10 minutes later, I've deleted it.
Yeah.
Because what I've done is I've done the contrary thing and gone, fuck you, I'm not deleting that. It's my Facebook. I'll bloody say what I want to bloody say. And then I'll go out the room and I'll be like, God, she's right. She's right. And then I'll get my phone out, put the kettle on, and I'll quietly delete it. Yeah. And then,
you won't tell me.
Well, then 15 minutes later, I walk back in the room and we'll sit down and look and say, and I went, delete that. Oh, yeah. It's bullseye on, and it's and that's it. And she's right. And because she has a good intuition and, I recognise recognise the fact that I'm not right about everything. And I think the sooner you can recognise that fact in yourself, you're off to a good start, because why would you be right about everything?
Well, exactly.
It sounds like a almost professional filter. Is there some way in which that your wife is within you as a business, within the way you work? Is there a that you're working together in a professional capacity? It seems like.
Yeah, we are. Well, because my business is her business and our business, and she's the director of the company that I own and that I am the director of. So she's the director on name, whereas I do everything, and she just takes the money and spends it on at Temu, and from day to day. And so I listen to her, because everything I do affects everything we do. Yeah. So she'll often say it's probably time you put your prices up. You haven't put your prices up for years, and and I'll say, I've quoted, I'm going out and say, whatever I charge for a show, and she goes, is that included in your travel and your accommodation? And I go, well, no. She goes, why? And she, and I'll quote going abroad to do somebody might want me abroad, and I'll say, well, it's X amount. And she go, well, they're paying for flight and accommodation. Yeah, they always do that. So what about your parking at East Midlands? And they go, oh no, I'm not. Well, why not? Because that's another 80 quid. And I'm like, she's right, because that's just 80 quid off my.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so she, and also she's really hard. If I've had to put a clause into my contract to say that if somebody cancels within 6 months of the performance date, they owe the full amount, because I can't replace a show at the same level financially within 6 months, because all the good venues have booked the max. I can go and get a shit show somewhere that pays half that. Why would I do that? Just because somebody else has changed their plans. So Jade is maybe building a contract clause to say, you cancel, I'm sorry that you're cancelling, but you need to pay this. Yeah. Because we can't go to British Gas and say, I've had a show cancelled, do you mind if I don't pay this month? And this is full circle what we were saying at the beginning. Yeah. How, I think people in the creative industry, particularly performers, don't get treated seriously, because you're just the entertainment. You can go and get a job and the amount of times I get asked what my day job is it's unbelievable. And sometimes I'll lie, and
really?
Yeah.
In certain circles.
I can't believe some.
It's Domino's, isn't it?
It's Dan? Domino's, that's right. It is. It is indeed. Dan's Double Decadence. And I went to so I know you sing, but what do you do in the day? I'm like, I talk to idiots like you. Not you, man. It's like, I talk to people who ask daft questions, but then I feel a bit of a moron, because I think, well, you don't know anything about the music industry.
Yeah.
I think that in itself shows you the perception of how difficult it is to work full time in the music industry, because people assume you can't. Yeah. People assume you're not doing, because it's such a hard. If you're not on the telly, how can you be working? If you're not, known internationally, how can you earn a living from doing that? It's weird. It's a weird thing.
If you were starting again now, what would you do differently, Dan? For those people that might be interested in a career in the entertainment industry, or sort of looking to get their first foot on the rung, they're perhaps doing a bit of music, blah blah blah. What would you do differently now, knowing what you know and going through all the trials that you've gone through?
Yeah, I've thought about this before. The true answer is you can't plan it. Right. You can't. That's the true answer. But there's a slightly better, more positive answer than that. You've got to prepare yourself for when the opportunity arises, and that is true, because I started singing when I was maybe 17, so I learned that I sort of had a notion that I had a relatively okay voice when I was 17. I found out I was in Spain, and as everybody does, we went to a karaoke night, and I was surprised that I could sing. I sang on stage before in a musical, but really basic stuff. And then I found that I could sing okay with a microphone, and the reception from people was good. And that was when I was 17, so that's 1992, 93. And then I came back to England and then started going to a few karaoke nights and having a go at a few songs. And every time I sang, it was like, oh, I can see you can sing. And then you start paying a little bit of attention. And then every time you go out, you sing. And then suddenly you meet people who maybe, oh, I'm putting a band together. Do you want? So you say, you know, I'll get involved. And even at the point when I was offered the opportunity of going to become a tribute, because I wasn't looking to do it, it was asked of me. I thought, no, I don't like tribute artists. I don't like tribute artists particularly. I don't like the tribute industry. I thought if I'm going to be a tribute artist, I'm going to be the best one, and I'm just going to be the best one, and that's it. That's my goal, to be the best Gary Barlow tribute there is. I can't be the best Freddie or the best Michael Jackson, but I can be the best Gary, and I thought that's how I'm going to do it. And I think all the years of going to the karaoke nights and singing with shit bands for 20 quid at the local Sunday.
Still working on your craft though.
Yeah, and I think you do all these things, and all of a sudden the opportunity presents itself, and you realise that you've just got enough in your locker to go, I'm going to roll the dice and see what happens. And I think probably the best single piece of advice I can give to anybody is, don't be afraid of saying yes. Because it's very easy to go, I don't think it's for me. And then you'll go back to your day job, you'll sit at your desk, and that opportunity will have gone, and it'll have gone forever. But if you say yes, you even if your heart races and your adrenaline pumps, and you go, what the f have I just agreed to? Oh my God! You suddenly find yourself in a different channel entirely, heading a different way, and you might be surprised at what your own skills can lead you on to do, you know. And so my advice is to say yes, unless somebody asks you in the street to take your trousers off, in which case say no.
Sound piece of advice.
Thank you.
Oh, is he toilet?
Tom's gone to
Tom's
have
left.
a number two.
Tom's like, well, hopefully not.
Hopefully
not. We've not got the room for that long.
So are we still recording?
Yeah. We'll just keep it running. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah. Unless
So-
you need a little break, Dan.
No, I'm fine. Keep going. If you've got any more questions, or by all means, any more thoughts.
I mean, I don't really want to cover anything that's been covered
It's all right,
before.
because people might not have heard. So
Well,
it's fine,
yeah, I
isn't it?
mean, to me, you didn't set out, obviously, to be a Gary Barlow
I didn't,
tribute
no.
act. When you're a little boy going, what do you want to be? I want to be a Gary Barlow tribute act. I would be, I mean, there's probably kids out there that might say that, but from what you've said so far, you weren't.
No,
so
especially because Gary's only 4 years older than me, it would have been a bit weird.
Exactly.
That's right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I know we have had the conversation outside preschool before, but for anyone that hasn't heard, how on earth did you end up doing what you're doing?
Yeah. Well, it was look rather than design. There's no doubt about it. And I think a lot of what I'd done in the last 14 years, particularly in the early days, was look, but look plus hard work. And I had a particularly weird summer in 2011, because I was off work. I grew a beard because I was off work. I just didn't shave. I worked at the university, and Gary suddenly, from nowhere, was in every magazine because he was featuring as a judge on the X Factor.
Yes, I remember.
Out of nowhere.
I remember the year that he was on. Was it a few years? He
11,
was on?
12 and 13.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, everybody started saying, and I don't mean everybody, but a lot of people, and I mean an unusual amount of people, started saying, "God, Dan, you really have a resemblance to Gary. Have you seen it? And I was like, no. Now, bear in mind, when Take That came out in the early 90s, people said the same then, but then Take That went away, blah, blah, blah. And so all this was, every day somebody would say, Dan, you look like Gary Barlow, you look like Gary. And it was getting to be almost like, it was funny at first, and then it got to be a bit hideous.
Yeah.
And it was a bit, oh God, this again. And then somebody said to me, oh, you ought to become a lookalike. And I had no idea what any of that was. Because I have mannerisms of Gary. I have minor resemblances. I'm not any kind of twin. There's nothing, nowhere near.
No, you are very much, having watched him for a limited time on X Factor or live on stage. Yeah. You are very much your own identity.
Yes.
It's not like sitting here with Gary Barlow.
It's not, absolutely. No. But I know that certainly on stage, there are mannerisms I do, certain looks I do, that is all sleight of hand craft to be that.
Yeah.
To be that.
Yeah.
In the way you would do that. And so, as a joke, I say as a joke, I sent a photograph into a lookalike agency, thinking, well, if somebody else thinks I look like Gary Barlow, maybe I do. And I sent this photograph in, and the agency came back and said, "No, you do." And I went, "What? Really?" And they went, "You do. You're going to get loads of work." And I was like, "This is a wind up. And I thought nothing more about it. And then a couple of days later, I had a phone call it was on the Friday afternoon, and this was sort of November, December 2011, and it was from ITV, Psycho Entertainment, and they said, "It's the X Factor. Do you want to come on the Extra Factor on Sunday night and do a lookalike sketch with Gary Barlow?"
Wow.
And I went, "What?" And I knew that it wasn't a wind-up because nobody knew I'd sent this photograph in, so it had to be bona fide.
That's crazy.
And when I was said to you a few minutes ago, Tom, about say yes, that's when I...
Oh, Tom is back from the toilet, listeners, as well.
Big
just
wee,
for the
his
benefit.
cheeks are ruddy.
Yes.
That's right. His shirt's tucked into his...
It's all the talk about taking trousers down.
That's right, exactly. It's off it goes. And so, and I said, yeah. And they said, great, we'll send you the details, come down. So, intrepid... Well, I was honestly, I didn't know what I was doing. Got a train down to London on the Sunday, went to, I think, Fountain Studios, X Factor semi-final night, pre-Little Mix in the semi-finals, all that, and went in, and they dressed me up as Gary Barlow with 3 other lookalike judges of Louis and the other ones, and now I come to 6 million people out through those doors.
Wow.
In front of Gary Barlow for the first time.
Yeah.
And I'm going, oh, what am I doing? But I like thinking on my feet. And we did this little thing, this like ad-lib sketch. I met Caroline Flack, Ollie Murs on stage. And it all went quite swimmingly. And then an agent saw it from Manchester. And I mean, lots of other things happened. I went back to university the next day where I was working, and the university was awash with, oh my God.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
And I was like, I know. But this agent got in touch and said, do you sing? Do you sing? We think you do because we've seen some clips. Can you sing? Take that. And I said, I don't know, not really my thing, pop music, really, not, And they said, if you can sing Take That, we've got a real big opportunity for you. We'd fundamentally like you to front our existing Take That tribute band, that we're looking for a new Gary Barlow to front it. Diary's full, and we don't want that Gary Barlow. It's nothing like Gary Barlow. It sounds nothing like Gary, but we want to get rid of him. What you? And I'm like, what? And suddenly it was like, well, yeah, there's 2 shows a week. It was £140 a show, right? Which to me was like, hang on, so £1,000 a month extra to what I'm earning at the university, singing, going around, and that was appealing. That was like, oh, hang on, yeah. So I was, I'll come and have a look at this, and I went out and started singing with this tribute band, And it went really well. And the venues were then getting in touch with the agent and going, we just want to book Dan. We don't want the tribute band. Can we just book Dan as Gary Barlow? And slowly it went that way.
Just snowballed from there.
Yeah, and then I came to a moment where there was work coming in that was filling my diary, some opportunities for overseas work in that first year, and I had to think, do I stay working at the university full time, or do I go and become Gary Barlow?
That must have been mad for you to have sat there and gone, hang on, this could be the day job now.
Yes, that's right.
That's got to be a crazy moment.
It was, and I thought about it, and it was my dad who said, you'll regret it if you don't. And he said, you can, whatever, just do it. I was 37, 38 at the time. He said, just do it. And I handed my notes at the university, and everybody looked at me like I'd lost my mind. And that even the Lincolnite ran an article on me saying, this man lost his mind.
It's always, well, they don't exist anymore, do they, the Lincolnite?
I'm glad.
Yeah. But it was always quality journalism.
Always quality. I've never been so happy as when they went defunct.
A good bit of publicity, actually. Just to sort of
I was trolled beyond words.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And do you know who trolled me? I hope you're listening. You are. My wife, who didn't know me at the time.
She was trolling.
She trolled me.
Oh, my God.
On the Lincoln app.
Seriously?
Because she's learned a lot of lessons since then. Let me tell you, boys. Because they put this picture on of me.
Yeah.
And the headline was, would you book this person to be a Gary Barlow tribute? With a picture of me looking nothing like Gary Barlow at all. Yeah. Jade, at the time, she put, I would not. Gary Barlow's gorgeous. Look at this man. Reader, a few years later, she married me.
There you go.
So I had all that trolling going on, and people were laughing at me. They were laughing at me behind my back, and
it's a tough place to be.
Yeah, it was, but it made me far more. It made me really determined.
It's almost like you want to go,
yeah, I know. And I talk. I have no compunction in saying this. I had a decent job at the university, and my first salary, not salary, but what I earned from my first year's singing was 15,000 less than my university salary. And then over the years, then I tripled the university salary. In 15 years, I'm on about 2.5 times more than I was on at the university, and far more than I would ever dream of being on at the university. I'd have to be the VC of the university, but I earn good money from working really hard.
Yeah.
But also, and so coming back to what we were saying at the beginning, you look after it, because if it goes, where do I go? Because everything goes, falls, house of cards, everything falls down. And also, we lost everything in COVID.
Yeah. Overnight.
We lost everything. Yeah. So we lost nearly 6 figures in COVID in 3 nights, and we lost everything. And I've spent 5 years building the business back up, and you think about that from a family point of view. We didn't have kids when COVID happened, but we had Mabel at the end of COVID when everything opened up again. So I found myself in a position where we was heavily in debt, because we'd earned no money for 15 months, and we'd had to use all our savings.
Yeah.
Every credit card was maxed, loans gone, wanting to reclaim our vehicle because we'd not been able to pay that for 15 months. So we was in a shit boat, and I had to start working my backside off straight away. So whilst on the face of it, whilst social media and everything outward looking is going, we're back, we're singing again, blah, 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 and I can charge my fees again, the bank sheet was hell. We've been decimated, so we've had to work really hard. And as the kids have come along, it squeezes you even more. So I think conversely, people think, how on earth can you make a living from being a singer? To you must have millions. It's like, well, it's neither. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just working. I'm just working. I don't have a butler paying my British gas bill. You know what I mean? So it's, it's a hard one. I don't know what the question was, but that was it.
Yeah.
That's how I got started.
No, that's fantastic. Thanks.
right.
I mean, I'm sure you've answered that hundreds and hundreds of times, but just for the benefit of dads at work, listeners.
I'm sorry, we've probably not delved into as much of the dads.
I honestly, I
Have
reckon
we?
we've had a decent
We kicked
fucking
right into it.
conversation
We've
there.
gone with
Really?
like an
Yeah.
inverse.
Yeah.
The origin story has come.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
That's
Are we
right.
stuck into what
Yeah.
it means to be a dad in the industry?
Yeah.
Really.
And
That's really good.
I'd like to sort of say, really, for the record, I wouldn't be here without Jade. I mean, I physically wouldn't be here. I was in a particularly bad place when I met Jade because I was lonely and on the verge of what I believe was alcoholism, only because I was lonely and I was travelling around. I was going to hotels after shows. I didn't want to be around people because I was been surrounded by people. I was drinking wine, bottles of wine a day, and I met Jade and she really helped me sort myself out and allow me to not be the star of my own show. So I decentralised myself almost. I wasn't important anymore. So Jade was the important one. And then you add the two children in, and the nice thing about when you get the kids, for me personally, is I've lost my ambition to do well myself. I just want them to be okay.
Yeah.
And I think
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you strike me as still a pretty ambitious guy, Dan? You want to do well. When you say you do what you're doing,
Yeah.
and you're working on your craft,
Yeah.
and you want to put on a good show.
Yeah.
That's aspiration.
Well, I'm only
And
singing songs.
Wow.
And, at the end of the day, I'm only singing songs. And I'm only kicking a blown-up football around the field, says the Premiership football. I'm only, I'm singing somebody else's songs for a living.
Yeah.
I mean, what else could I, But I think...
You know what you're doing it for.
You're
do. Doing it for the girls.
Yeah, I am. And I genuinely am.
Yeah.
It can sound quite trite to say, I'm doing it for somebody else, not me. Well, it's not as simple as that. But by and large, if I'm not doing it for them, who am I doing it for? Because they are the ones that are important now. And actually, when you want your own picture in the centre of your own mantelpiece, it's quite a relief. It's quite a relief because you're no longer thinking, what about me? What about me? Because it's actually easy to go, well, what about them? And I think once you put them first, I think the other things that you've worried about fall into place a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I found, and I think certainly as I've got older, I've felt that more. And I've lost both my mum and dad this year as well. They both died this year, so it's
sorry to hear
no
that.
problem. Thank you. Yeah, and my dad was Molly was actually born in September last year. And then Mum died in October, and then Dad died in February. So it was a really tough. You think you have a baby.
There's so many emotions going on there.
Within 6 months of Molly being born, my mum and dad had died, and Molly, believe it or not, had been there for both deaths in the room when they both passed. And there's been a real since my mum and dad have both gone. I've really. Things have come into focus really clearly, because my dad was my hero. My dad was a selfless person. He always put his kids first before himself all the time.
And he was the one who told you to go for it.
He
as
did,
well,
and he was great. He
Yeah.
always gave me some great advice.
Yeah.
And apart from that time, he told me to wear that felt tie for school disco. That was really shit
You're not
advice.
forgiving him about
No.
that, have you?
Dads don't get it right all the time.
Do you know, I wore these I'll finish on this because I can't beat this. But I was going to a disco and I was about 14 and I had double denims on with really big turn-ups on the jeans.
God,
they
that
were
sounds trendy.
They were massive.
Yes.
I mean, the turns were like inches.
Yeah.
And we weren't very well off. And so I had to wear his work shoes to go with these. And I didn't have my own shoes. I had school shoes and football boots. I had no many other sort of shoes. So I had to wear his work shoes, which are grey slip-on shoes with like lines across. And he looked at me, and I mean, I felt a twist anyway. And he looked at me and he went, do you know what? He said, there's something missing that will make you super cool. And he didn't use super cool as 2 words. He went, super cool, like 1 word. He said, something that'll make you look super cool. Hang on. And he went to his wardrobe and he came back with a grey felt tie with double denims, with a denim shirt and denim jeans.
And a red nose.
And a red nose. Yeah, that's right, yeah. That would have been fine. And he put the tie on. And I remember saying to him, are you sure about this tie? And he went, yeah, take it from me. You look great. So, trusting my dad, I got picked up, taken down to a mate's house. And a couple of mates were down there giving me looking at my tie but not saying anything. And this other lad called Richard Emerson, who was at school, he walked in and he looked at me, what the f*** is that? And he went and grabbed my tie, pulled the tie off and threw it in the bin. He went, that's better. Do you know what I did? I went and got the tie out, and I kept it in my pocket, and I took it home, and I made out to my dad that I wore it because I didn't want to upset him.
That's lovely, that is.
Fuck Richard Emerson.
Yeah, fuck him.
That's right.
Fuck does he?
I'm only joking, Emma. You're pretty cool, man.
Everything comes back around though, so they'll probably be in trend soon again.
You also have been what?
Felt ties.
Felt ties.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's not coming back.
Everything comes back around. One day I'll be trendy.
One day.
And then
you're trendy
you'll
now.
see.
You're trendy amongst us. I mean, I'm wearing my rock and roll clothes. Tom's in his gardening gear, and you're podcasting. It's all good.
Well,
I apologise for bad language, by the way. I swear a lot, and I can't help it.
It's completely fine. I do swear a lot, and I usually tone myself down for this.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be able to feel free.
Yeah.
On this one.
Yeah.
It's all right. I'll just be fucking cursing while I'm editing it, trying to beep everything.
There's no such thing as bad language. It's just language. It's just whether you.
Everything's a word.
Everything's a word.
It's just words.
Yes, that's right.
Did you see that? There was I can't remember if it was a documentary. Stephen Fry did this documentary about swear words and how they have something to do with pain. Like they when
They're
you say
cathartic.
well, not just cathartic, but they almost stop nerves in your brain.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I get that.
So when
To
you
release.
swear, right, actually you feel less pain when you swear.
Get that.
And when it's the more societally shocking word, that gives you more pain relief.
Have you ever got a pillow and screamed into it?
No, because there's no point.
Because you feel better after you've done it. Honestly. Honestly.
I'm going to do it tonight.
Well, that's a top tip to leave you with.
Well, thank you.
Dan. Go
Thank
and
you, Max and
scream,
Tom, for this.
Scream into
Oh,
a pillow.
well, indeed. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for
Really
your
does
time
work.
today as well.
No, thank
I've really
you,
enjoyed
it's
it.
been really
Thanks for
thank
coming
you.
on, Dan.
It's a pleasure.
It's not a format that's been explored a lot, this.
Right. Okay.
So we appreciate you coming on. It's
No
been
problem.
really, really, really interesting.
You're
and a
welcome.
pleasure to catch up with you as well.
Absolutely. Thank
Before
you.
our children part ways.
That's
So
right.
Best of luck with that one, because I'm
Likewise.
in it.
Let's hope that Milo and Mabel both go on to be the great chimney sweeps we hope they're going to be.
And on that note, thank you very much, listeners.